Hello developers. In this tutorial we will learn about Predicate, and it is the continuity of my previous tutorial that was about functional interfaces. Java 8 provides some built-in functional interfaces in java.util.function package. So because of these interfaces, we don't need to worry about writing or creating our own interfaces. So there are 43 predefined interfaces in Java 8 plus version. So it is valid for upcoming versions too, which are 11, 13, 17 and 19 or any other future version. So I have divided them into the multiple categories. First one is predicate, and other categories are suppliers, consumers, operators, binary and unary operators as well. So we will discuss about these categories later on. So in this category of predicate, there are 5 different kind of a functional interfaces. First one is predicate. It means that we are taking a generic data type. Double predicate, which is taking a double value as an input argument, and int predicate is taking the int value, and long is taking a long value. So these are specialized data type. And the last one is a by predicate. By predicate is the one which is actually taking a two predicate, and those are taking a generic data types. So I have created a predicates package already, and this predicate demo class. So let me create a example class person. In this person class, we have two properties. First one is name and age. I created a person object, and let me create a predicate. So I created a predicate and it returns true if age is greater than 18. As we know that while creating a predicate, we can actually use a reference variable to that functional interface. If you use the command and see the predicate class, you can see that this class has a boolean test as a single abstract method, and also the other default methods and negate, or, and also one static method is equal and another one is not. So we will see that how can we utilize these functions. So we wanted to test if a person is eligible for driving or not. So let me create a static boolean function in that case. So I created a static boolean function if person eligible for driving. So this function is taking person as an argument and also taking a predicate as an argument too, and it is executing that particular predicate. It is actually executing that particular function, and that is this one. And our compiler knows that this particular function is need to be executed. So that's why functional interfaces has only a single abstract method. So I initialize the eligible boolean variable. In that case, we see that is it working or not. So it is returning a true, which was true in that case. So let me show you an example of AND predicate function. It is actually a compose predicate which represent a short circuiting logical and also another predicate. So it is returning another predicate. It means that we can use the chaining method in our predicate. So let me show you how. In this example, we can check whether a person is eligible for board membership or not. So in that case, we need to compose two predicate because person is eligible for board membership if person is greater than 18 but less than 60. So we can compose these two predicates by using this function. So in this case, we have created two predicates and we have also combined them into a single predicate using the AND method. So similar case, OR predicate also works. So let me show you an example in this case. In this example, I modified my class. So in this example, we are checking if a person is eligible for retirement or not. A person is eligible for retirement if he is greater than 60. So let me give an appropriate name. If he is greater than 60 or his service years are more than 30. So I created a two person, one person with this age 23 and another one is 50 and with the service year 32, which is accommodating that variable. And we created a 2% objects, one with the age 23 and another with the years of service variable 32. So we wanted to see if a person is eligible for retirement or not. So a person is eligible for retirement if he is greater than 60 or his service years more than 30. So first one should be false and other one should be true because service years are more than 30. So let me execute this one. So it is running perfectly. And like the AND function, we can actually concatenate as more as methods we wanted. So like AND function, we can use the OR function, but it will be actually working on the OR operator, and AND is working on the AND operator. And we can add more methods here as well. Like if I wanted to add one more OR method, then I can do it and concatenate with another predicate. So it totally depends on the requirements at how many AND methods that we wanted to have in our program. So let me show you negate predicate, that how does it work. Negate predicate is actually returns a predicate which is representing a logical negation of a predicate. So in this example, I created a predicate with a number greater than 10. So I use the integer one and it's a data type. So it means that our number will be an integer data type. So don't forget to give the data type while using a predicate. You can also create an int predicate as well if your predicate is the int one. But let me show you the examples for int predicate later on. So we have a predicate defined which is a number greater than 10 and it is checking a number is greater than 10. So suppose we have a requirements that we need to check if a number is less than 10 or not. So in that case we can use a negate because number is greater than 10 and it is negating it. So in this case I actually used to test 15. So we passed our 10. So similarly is equal predicate is also there as well. So let me show you an example of is equal predicate. This method returns a predicate that tests if two arguments are equal or not, and they are actually according to object.equals method in Java. And one thing to be noted that this is not a chaining method. So you can see that I use the predicate. So it's a static method. So I can use the predicate class to execute that method. So in this predicate we are testing if it is equal to world or not. So of course it will return false. But the same thing we can achieve by using this predicate. I commented out the code and you can use this. But you can see that we don't need to have to create another predicate and we can use a just predicate is equal function. So it's a static function and this is not a chaining method. So we discuss about the by predicate now. So we discuss about by predicate interface. We have seen the example so far that predicate is taking only one parameter and it is returning a result which is a boolean. So suppose we have a requirement where we need to send the two parameters and we wanted to return a result. So in that case we can use by predicate. So by predicate also has a function method, the test method in that case, by taking a two object. It is a method which is a generic method. So we can pass any objects there. So I created an example in that case. We actually hard coding value of a voting age. We wanted to see that if a person is eligible for voting or not. So person is eligible for voting if minimum age, if he is greater than the minimum age. So person is eligible for voting if a person is eligible for voting if he is greater than the minimum age. So in this case, the two values over by predicate. One is actually a person object and another one is integer minimum age. So since the age is actually varies from one country to another country. So that's why we can take this value from the outside. We can't hard coded one in just a one predicate. So in that case, it's a quite useful to have a by predicate function. So you can see it is actually taking a predicate which is a function and which is testing a two value. So it will execute this function. So this function will have a person and then the minimum age. It will take 18 as a minimum age and the person object to, which is this one. So when the function will execute, it will check if a minimum age is less than or not. So we created a by predicate which is taking the two input. So we created a method is person eligible for voting. So this is working like this. I hope that you understood about the predicates. So in the next tutorial we will talk about suppliers and consumers as well. So please subscribe my channel. Thank you.